You know what I think when I think of political correctness? You know what I really think these days? I think that political correctness is really just a beard for those who actually are racist or sexist or homophobic and they don't want to come out with it. They do not want to come out with it. And yes, I mean, I could say my ills that I have towards the community of people who happen to be neo-Nazis, who have these zany Jewish conspiracy theories saying that everything has to deal with somebody being Jewish, or just these fucking rednecks going around saying that black people are the cause of most of the ills in society and everything else like that. I mean, yeah, I can argue against those people as well, seeing as though they're kind of overt about their racism and their sexism and their homophobia and everything else like that. But when it comes to those people, they're overt about it. They show it to you, and it's easy to spot. It's also easy to denigrate and laugh at because these days, overt racism, at least to uh, fully functional thinking people, are just ridiculous things. They're just ridiculous people. You can laugh at them. It doesn't really matter. If you're a black guy and there happens to be a white guy who calls you the N-word or something like that, you'll laugh at it. You'll fucking shrug it off or whatever you might do, because the fact of the matter is that many people aren't like that. Many people are normal human beings which don't really give a shit about somebody's color of their fucking skin. Maybe. I'm not even sure. Um, Give it to see the current trajectory of people who happen to be overtly politically correct. That's a term that I'll use for people who believe that political correctness is the way to beat these horrible prejudices that people have. Now, people who are politically correct, they'll say, oh, black people and women and minorities of every type except for white men are the people who are undergoing a lot of pain and suffering due to patriarchal white supremacist standards and yada yada yada. They'll never actually look at a situation based upon economic standards. They'll never actually look at it based on political standards. Maybe there's something in the way of these people from getting into a better situation. Maybe they had a terrible family life. Maybe these individuals had some sort of thing happen to them that made it harder for them to get a job and basically get off the government dole. And maybe some of these people are just lazy. I think the vast majority of people on the government dole are not lazy. They are unfortunately in a situation of which it is much harder to get out of the situation that they're in. They've been misled and everything else like that. And this is not trying to shift blame. This is not trying to say that these individuals had no way of getting into a better position. Of course they had a way of getting into a better position. It just tends to be harder for certain individuals to get out of the hole of which they were dug in. I know this myself because I was in one of those holes. And fortunately, I have gotten to a place in my life where I could say that I'm pretty much good. But that did not come just from me pulling myself up from my own bootstraps, but it took a lot of people around me, which sometimes these people in the inner city communities and everything, they don't have a lot of people around them to help them do that. Instead, they'll have a lot of influences and people around them helping them stay in the same space, as they stay in the same place in their life, and making it harder for them to climb the socio-economic ladder. Now, of course, these things are attributed to many different things. But none of them have to deal with somebody being a white patriarch. None of them have to deal with the man keeping them down because of his or her own skin color. It doesn't have to deal with the giant dick saying you're a woman and therefore stay in the same place and in the kitchen. Nobody's these days actually believes that. I would say most people would actually denigrate women for being a housewife, while some people like me say, hey, woman, you're pretty much allowed to do whatever the fuck you want, as long as if it doesn't hurt anyone else, just like I am able to do whatever the fuck I want to do. Sure, maybe your position in life might have been a little bit harder than mine, might have been a little bit harder than a CEO of Apple's. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Because the fact of the matter is that your vagina doesn't necessarily say your position in life. However, because the pervasive and maniacal and disgusting nature of social justice warriors and how they perceive the world to be, they'll say, yes, it is exactly because of your vagina. It is exactly because of the color of your skin. It doesn't matter how hard you'll try. You can never get to the place where you want to be. So instead of actually trying to help you out, actually trying to see if you had any problems to get to the place where you were in, instead of actually saying, hey, why don't you interact with more people that want you to succeed, and we'll create these communities for you to help you succeed, and we'll all help each other out and get into the workforce and make money for ourselves, they'll say, no, you can't do that. You have to change the system. You have to change the situation with the white patriarchy. You have to change the situation from the top down. You have no responsibility in trying to help yourself out from internally. You have no way of doing that either, even if you wanted to. And even if you think you do, that's just internalized misogyny. That's just internalized white privilege from the white guy, from the white man. You know, that's what it is. No, it's not. It's not that, okay? These fucking people, these fucking social justice warriors who push this fucking nonsense that political correctness is actually supposed to be good, because you're not supposed to make fun of women or black people or Latinos or anything else like that. Those people are your enemy, not people like me, not people who are racist. The racist people are just fucking funny, stupid people. And people like me, we see you, woman, black, Hispanic, fat, skinny, ugly, beautiful, anything that you might be, that you have no that you have no control over. We see you as individuals. We want to help you out to pull yourself out of the shit that you're in. And we'll understand that things are harder for you. We won't say, hey, why don't you just become a CEO or a mechanical engineer or whatever it might be. It's not that hard. Well, no, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna fucking sugarcoat it. To some people, it's fucking tough. It's hard. It's hard as fucking hell. But you're not gonna get anything out of fucking fighting a boogeyman that has nothing to deal with your own individual things. So I'm sorry for the fucking people out there who think that feminism is gonna save women as a whole. It's not. It fucking crushes them. It crushes them down. It says, you're no better than our idea. You are nothing compared to the whole of feminism. And this is what political correctness does. This is what the left does. It collectivizes everything. It says, you have no control over your life. It doesn't say you have control over your life, but it's hard and we're going to try to figure out if there's some way that we can make it easier. I mean, maybe that was the left 4 years ago, but it ain't now. The left now is fucking vampires. They want to take control of your life, say that your accomplishments are actually bad because it has to deal with helping out the patriarchy or helping out the white supremacists or something like that. No. No. You should do whatever the fuck you want to do. It's hard, but you should. Your accomplishments are your accomplishments, and nobody's fucking holding you down except for your fucking self, and the circumstances of which are pretty hard. But you have to figure out a way to get out of it. And I'm sure people will be able to find other people who want to help them out. But if you're not willing to help yourself out, nobody else is going to help you out. You're not going to seek solace in feminism. You're not going to seek solace in black liberation. You're not going to seek solace in these phony, baloney, fucking piece of garbage ideologies that seek nothing but to destroy your individuality and to use you for the fucking machine that they're building. They're talking about a system. They talk about a system of oppression when you as an individual are thinking the things that you're going through that makes it harder for you to climb up the socioeconomic ladders. They'll be talking about that. Well, guess what? They're making a system. They are making a brand new system. A brand new system where not only do you have to deal with your own problems, but those problems multiply and multiply and multiply. And all you are now, if you go under those systems, if you go under black liberation, if you go under fucking feminism, or even the men's rights activist movement, for all fucking, let's just be inclusive here, you're just a fucking cog in their system. You're a cog in their machine. I have to say, you goddamn fucking social justice fucking warriors, you suck a cock. Suck a cock. Because you're a bunch of fucking dumbass pieces of garbage that seek nothing but to destroy the beauty and the individuality and the individual who might be able to aspire to be a fucking CEO, to be an entrepreneur, to make millions of dollars, maybe even trillions. Maybe fucking find the next best product out there to fucking create, whether that be a man or a woman. Whether that be somebody who's black or white or Latino or Mexican or fucking Hindu. It doesn't fucking matter what your fucking skin color is. It doesn't matter what the fuck is in between your legs. That doesn't make you. You make you. Neither does feminism. Neither does fucking black liberation. None of these things make you. The only thing that they make you is minced meat. Do you want to be minced meat? Or do you want to be what you can be? Or do you want to be the fullest potential of which you know you can be? It might be fucking tough out there, and it sure as hell is. But I know, and so do many other people out there that don't subscribe to this bullshit. I know that racism and sexism and misogyny and white privilege and all this fucking made up horseshit that by the fucking social justice warriors, that's not gonna fucking stop you. Because you're an unstoppable bullet. Until you fucking hit that wall. But until you fucking hit that wall and find your fucking target where you want to be in life, you shouldn't stop. Go. Fucking go out of that fucking gun at full fucking speed ahead. Hit that goddamn target. Don't let these fucking sociopathic social justice warriors stop you. Don't let me stop you. Don't let anyone around you stop you. Fucking do it. Just do it! This has been Lapse of Apathy, injecting truth directly into your eyeballs. I hope it doesn't burn too much. Good night, or goodbye, or hello. Goodbye.